The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.thebenjamindixonshow.com to register for our blog and join the Progressive Army.
Welcome to the Benjamin Dixon Show. I am your host, Benjamin Dixon. Today is Thursday, May 7th, 2020. Thanks so much for joining me. I've been asked to write a piece in The Guardian about Ahmaud Arbery, the 25-year-old who was killed here in Georgia, down in Brunswick. And the video just came out. And of course, the video is atrocious. It is difficult to watch, but it's even more difficult to deal with the reality that surrounds it. It's something that we've had to cover so many times. I, for one, do not separate the violence against black men by police officers from the violence against black men and women from these vigilantes, from George Zimmerman, who, if he outlives me, I have already asked my audience, and thousands of people have volunteered that if George Zimmerman outlives me, that they would go and piss on his grave for me on my behalf in honor of me. It's like pouring out some liquor for your homies. Just piss on that man's grave. I don't separate George Zimmerman from these two men who killed Ahmaud in cold blood in broad daylight on video. And I don't separate it from the police brutality that we're seeing just pick up tremendously across this country, particularly in New York City and in New Jersey. In New York City, video after video after video shows how the police are cracking down. Cracking down is not the right word, but that's all I have right now. I'll think of something better in a minute. But how the police are coming in like the Gestapo and stomping the black community. And if you overlay the zip codes in New York City, if you overlay the various cities, the black side of town, that's where you have the most extreme cases of COVID-19, disproportionate cases of COVID-19. And you have this all-out assault by the police on black people. I do not separate that from this vigilante culture that is running amok in the minds of white people and people who think they're white, like George Zimmerman. Now, that said, I see it as the same pernicious beast, which is white supremacy, which is the fear of blackness, which is the same thing that has been pervasive in this country for hundreds of years. I do not separate the two. The only difference between me and most other people is I tie it directly to the bidding of capitalism in this country. You cannot separate the two. What's going on in New York, you're seeing that the luxurious, gentrified, the white side of town, wherever you see white people, wherever you see money, wherever you see capital, those people are nice and comfortable, and they're getting masks handed to them, and the police are treating them with the utmost respect. In the black side of town, they are curb stomping us. Down here in the South, these rednecks are just decided to do it themselves. They've mounted up. And all that to say, I mean, I don't know if I'm the right person to write about this, because I don't think I have anything else to say about this other than it's time. We have to take care of ourselves. We cannot allow we cannot look, if we ever could. And here's the thing. We never could look at this system to protect us. We got fooled into thinking this system could protect us by black people who had political power, who were given political power in order to satiate the masses. We talked about this with Professor Eddie Glaude last week, and he was talking about, it was Professor Adolph Reed. And actually, I think both of them alluded to the fact that there was a political class of black people who were put into power in one way or the other. We were told to lay down our rhetorical as well as literal arms. We were told that they would take care of it. We were told, and again, this is not a complaint to say that, oh, you were supposed to take care of it and you didn't. It's to say, what the hell were we thinking all along? The misleadership class, they are not even, of course they're going to tweet about this because everybody's tweeting about this. Hell, Joe Biden is tweeting about this. And everybody and their mama except for Donald Trump is going to tweet about this because this is the thing to talk about. Every so often, every year about this time or every other year, you see an outbreak in killings of black people. And whether it's black men or black women or black children, you see it. And then everybody gets woke for a few minutes. Everybody gets woke for a couple of days and they're like, Black Lives Matter. Well, if Black Lives Matter, then why are black people disproportionately dying from this plague that's outside our door? If Black Lives Matter, why are black people disproportionately the essential workers that are delivering your groceries and your food? If Black Lives Matter, why are we on the front lines of this pandemic, and yet when we come back to our communities, our lives are threatened? And just like Black Lives Matter, everybody's going to forget about it in no time flat. I'm sorry. If you really want I don't know if the Guardian is ready for what I'm going to say, but if you really want my opinion, it's time for black people to forget about this thing that the Democratic Party has been pounding in our heads for years and years and years and years against guns. Guns are bad. Guns are bad. You know what? Yes, guns are bad, but until everybody disarms, why the hell are we the only community that has disarmed? Right? The United States government will never unilaterally disarm their nuclear armament. They won't. They will not. I mean, hell, they won't do it, period. But they certainly aren't going to have any reduction by themselves. They are not going to, in the name of being good citizens, they're not going to reduce their nuclear stockpile without there being a reduction in the nuclear stockpile of any other armed country. So why are we looking at black people, and black people are picking up this dogma from the Democratic Party? I was part of it for years. And you look at New York City, right? New York City is the best example that you can get. Do you think that those pigs in New York City could, even if they wanted to, they don't want to because of the way white supremacy works in this country, but do you think they could get away with that with any armed white person? Man, those white boys would have been out, open up fire, and it would just, and you know who would win? the white boys would win. They would most certainly win. And also, if you want to extend this, look at who is standing. If you want to extend this to more than just black people, look at who is fighting so vehemently to open up this country. Armed, paramilitary, conservative people who are doing the bidding of capitalism. And yet, we as leftists, as progressives, and whoever you consider yourself a Democrat, we're the only ones out here naked, ass out, with no weapons. Now, again, like I said, I don't know if the Guardian is really ready for my piece, but what sense does it make? What kind of people are we that we are going to sit back and watch? Listen, I get that everybody is immensely upset about what happened to Ahmaud. I am furious. I couldn't even stomach watching the video. But I am equally upset about the countless people who are being brutalized, black people who are being brutalized in New York City specifically, who are underneath a police state for whom in past times we had to arm ourselves in armed patrols to protect ourselves from police. But now New York City has cracked down on owning guns. Hell, I mean, since when black people started getting guns in the late 60s, early 70s, when we start organizing around the Black Panther Party for self-defense, man, those white people, Ronald Reagan in California as governor, the NRA, they changed the gun laws so quick. And now it's become a cornerstone of the Democratic Party. But yet the Democratic Party in New York City, the Democrat run by Mayor de Blasio, who was everybody's best bud during the campaign because he was a progressive. He endorsed Bernie Sanders. But yet, what is he doing about the police brutality that's happening there? Because it inevitably is going to lead to someone being killed. And I'm sorry, I don't separate the two. A lynching down here in Georgia is the same as a lynching up in New York City. So what are we supposed to do? Just sit helplessly and not defend ourselves? Right? And all of a sudden, when a black man picks up a gun, whether he uses it, hell, a black man picks up a cell phone and he is a threat. A black man just goes jogging here in Brunswick, Georgia, and he is a threat. And if we exercise our Second Amendment rights the exact same way these white people do, it'll be an all-out war in the streets. Something's got to happen in New York City. It is too far gone. The police in New York City, the pigs in New York City. I'm sorry, you guys probably like, what show did I tune into? Is this the Benjamin Dixon show? Hell yeah, this is the Dixon Show. I've been talking about this for years, and this is why I don't talk about it. This is why I stopped talking about it, because after a while, you can only talk about it so long before you call it exactly what it is. The police force in New York City is a terrorist organization that is brutalizing the black community. They are small men with all they have are big guns. They're taking out their frustration, their insecurities, the fact that their women don't even really like them. I mean, look, these men are the most abusive. If you look at the data, police officers are the most abusive people to their own households. And yet we give them guns and badges and send them out into the black community, and that's on purpose. There is a direct connection to COVID-19 and the way the police agencies are brutalizing the black communities. If you look at the actual overlay of the breakout, you will see that COVID-19 is hitting the black communities the most. Why do you think the police officers are brutalizing the black community, enforcing the stay-at-home orders with brute force, yet in the white communities, they're just handing out masks? How was your day, ma'am? You're having a great day? Here, this is a courtesy of the city of New York. In the black communities, we're getting mollywopped all across the streets, and all we can do, everyone for years, everyone has been saying, oh, comply with what? With the police force treating us like subhuman animals? The laws in New York, which prevent so many people from owning weapons, was done in the name of protecting us. And now we see we are completely helpless against a lawless police force that is going around like the Gestapo, crushing the black community to make sure that COVID-19 doesn't leave our borders in the black community and go into the white community. I covered it yesterday. You look at the map and you look at the concentration, you look at the number of people dying, it is disproportionately black people. And how do you think the New York City and the state of New York is protecting all those communities from the spread of this virus? Well, one, those are the people who get to stay at home. They don't have to go to work. They're not essential workers. They're making enough money. Some of them just living off their capital gains, so they don't even have to work. There's no working from home for some of them. The others are working from home, making a good enough living because that's the type of career they have. They don't even know what it's like to be essential workers. All they know is that they can order their food and someone who's a minority, probably a black person, is going to come and deliver it. That person gets COVID-19, takes it back to their community, and the police, they're all in those communities just bashing people's heads. And what are we supposed to do? Not talk about it, not be angry about it? Oh, Ben, if you talk about it like this, then someone is going to get mad and someone is going to go do something about it. The mayor of New York should have been doing something about this. The governor of New York, both Democrats, both so beloved, or at least Cuomo, so beloved by the Democratic Party. Everybody said that they were a Cuomo-sexual. Remember that? Democrats, you're Cuomo-sexuals. You guys, that's what you named yourself. You're not doing anything about the police cracking down, brutalizing the black community. You do not deserve our vote. You do not deserve our support. I'm sorry. As long as we continue to see these types of things happening, this disparate treatment, the treatment of black people quickly juxtaposed to the treatment of the white people of New York, as long as that's happening, why the entire hell should we give you a single goddamn vote? We're not even talking about voting at this point. At this point, because you won't protect us. I mean, that's the sentence right there. That's the fallacy. We should have never, ever allowed our safety and our protection to be provided by a system that has historically done nothing but brutalize and exploit us. They'll gladly send us to pick up their groceries and deliver it to their Manhattan condo. So long as we're wearing a mask. Don't not be wearing a mask when you deliver one of these elitist, cosmopolitan bourgeoisie people their groceries. Oh, they will lose their mind and call the cops on you. But they'll gladly exploit your labor while they sit in the comfort of their home and send you back to your community with this virus and make sure that the police are right at the borders of your community to crush you if you dare come out for anything other than work. All right. Voicemails after this. We'll do a patron party anyway. Let's talk about it.
Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show and support The Benjamin Dixon Show.
Let's go. We're going to party anyway. It's about the only thing that keeps me from flipping the lid out of here. Very special welcome and thank you to all of our newest patrons without whom this show is entirely not possible. Carry On Printup, thank you for becoming a patron. Brian Colin, thank you for becoming a patron. Jim Lines, thank you for becoming a patron. Oh, Eric Berkeley, thank you for becoming a patron. Michael Coolidge, thank you for becoming a patron. Daniel Troutman, thank you for becoming a patron. And Lene, I owe you an apology because you actually sent me the phonetic spelling of your name. So 2 days in a row, Lene, thank you for becoming a patron. You too can become a part of this prestigious and prodigious patron family by going to patreon.com/The BPD Show, where you get twice the content without any of the interruptions, unedited, uncut, unfiltered interviews, and none of these annoying commercials like you're going to get right here.
Welcome back to The Benjamin Dixon Show.
Yep.
Visit us online at www.thebenjamindixonshow.com.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Let's get this started. Let's talk to you. Let's listen to your voices. Quite a few voicemails came in today. I wanted to know what was on your mind. You know what's on mine. So let's get it going.
Hey, this is Blaine from Charlotte. This is going to be a little all over the place, but just got a lot to say. And the first thing I have to say is I feel like the United States is uniquely prepared to sacrifice people's lives for profit and for no damn reason. And it should have been apparent to us over and over again. I'm thinking the Iraq War. I'm thinking what's still happening in Iraq and Afghanistan. I'm thinking about whenever the U.S. installs a right-wing dictator who sends out death squads to kill people. That was always preparation for what they could do here, because this country doesn't give a damn. It'll sing you out to die in this epidemic. It'll have a jury out there that'll find these racist killers, whether they're cops or just regular old citizens call themselves Citizen Watch. They'll find juries to say not guilty. They'll find DAs to say, hey, we're not pressing charges. Because this country is uniquely created and prepared to say, I don't give a damn about your life. And I don't think, 2020 shows any different. And, I'm also going to extend this to, it doesn't matter whether we're talking Republicans or Democrats, right? We got New York up here. We got police officers beating the shit out of black people and giving the white people masks on the gentrified side of town. And on top of that, cutting Medicaid. And down in Georgia, more or less the same. White people murdering black people and cutting Medicaid and cutting things that could save people's lives. So just want to say the United States is uniquely prepared for that, right? And that's about all. It's got me pretty down, but shit, I just had to get this off my chest. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Stephanie. I'm calling from Panama City, Florida, and I was calling just to talk on the topics that you wanted addressed. As far as the Ahmaud Arbery case, I'm very disgusting and sickened by it. I watched the video. I am a black woman and the mother to a black son. So this terrifies me. It scares me. I'm sick of vigilante justice. I'm sick of no justice, and I'm sick of us being as hashtag. It was wrong. They were not within any legal bounds to do what they did, and I hope that this time justice is served, and it serves as a message to the rest of them out there who want to hunt black men like prey. You can't do it, and you won't get away with it. Yes, we do need to increase black gun ownership. We need to be locked and loaded and have our permits, and we don't have to walk around with AR-15 strapped to our back to prove a point. We just need to be ready in case it goes down. The ruling elite killing us for capitalism, that's exactly what they're doing. I've been saying through this whole messy ordeal, it's profits over people during a pandemic. I've said numerous times that sick and dead workers are not going to help your bottom line. I'm down here in Florida, which has chosen to reopen. People are frolicking at the beach. We have tourists down here, and it's truly business as usual. And most of us, it's sad to say, are probably going to die or end up with COVID after this. The police brutality in dim control states as far as NY and NYC, it's happening. And it's happening all over. It doesn't matter whether it's Democratic or not. On one side, you see people getting masked. On the other side, you see people getting beat up. And again, it's disgusting. And police departments who engage in this mess needs to be dealt with. On that note, I'm out of here, and I only can hope and pray that maybe things will get better. Thank you.
This is Edward Leon Willis Jr., a.k.a. the Cali Enigma, Sports and Entertainment on YouTube. I agree. It's time to increase black ownership. I spoke about that yesterday on my channel. It's something that I think that every black man and black woman in America should be armed. Our children should know how to use weapons. And this is my mind state. And if we don't change that mind state now, and that I don't know what will. But to let you know also, I'm from Oakland, California, man. And I just wanted to put that out there, man, that it's time for us to get armed. We need to have we need to be more armed than white America at this point, man. And it's no reason for us not to be, because it seems like they only respond to guns. So we need that. We need to be armed. We need to protect ourselves, because no one else is going to do it, man. Appreciate you, brother Benjamin. Keep doing your thing, brother. Have a good one.
That right now, it has been concerning me for quite a while, is the case of Ramsey Orta. He is the young man who filmed the killing of Eric Gardner by Daniel Pantaleo, NYPD. Ramsey Orta, by all reports, is currently very, very sick, possibly with COVID, in a prison. I believe it's in upstate New York. And it took a lot of courage for him to film what happened to Eric Garner. And because of this action, he had been targeted by the police repeatedly. And finally he ended up in jail. And he had been repeatedly put in solitary confinement and transferred to faraway locations so his friends and family cannot reach out to him. So Ramsey Orta, I'm hoping you can shine a spotlight on what is going on with him. And currently, supposedly, he is very ill with COVID-19. Thank you. Bye.
What's up, Benjamin and listeners? This is Haven calling from out of the country in the Philippines currently. I know that a lot of things in the Black community are rising up. I can't possibly be the only person that feels this level of trapped and fear between being the main people who are suffering from COVID or being overly policed because of wanting to go outside, being murdered by fellow citizens who are white, being murdered by police officers who are supposed to protect us. It feels almost impossible for us to not be angry, frustrated, and looking for an immediate solution, because I know that I definitely in my heart of hearts feel like we need a solution. But I would say I hope that as a community we move forward smartly. And I think the main thing that I worry about the most is that when we legitimately try to organize ourselves for ourselves, the response from our government is not the same. We don't get the whole, you can run up on a government building and threaten the lives of politicians treatment that our white counterparts get.
We'll make it up, you put us together. We'll make it up, you put us together. We'll make it up, you put us together.
Hey, Alan from Houston, Texas. I guess I just want to call and talk about real quickly about the stupidity of reopening America right now. The only way we can safely reopen America is to do mass testing at every point of destination for public gathering, like they do overseas, but because Americans are so
stupid.
Americans are so gun-ho about our unalienable rights that if we start to do that, a whole back wave of fascism calls and all that ridiculousness will be thrown around in the public discourse. And I just find it funny that these people are okay with us just spreading a virus back and forth to each other that we don't have the cure for. But how we can stop it, it would feel like a dictatorship or imperialism if they always had to take your temperature before arriving somewhere. So that was just my quick thought on it. Thanks.
Hi, it's Robert from Virginia. And the thing that got my heart heavy today is just how everything seems to be going wrong as quickly as possible. Like, as you can tell from my voice, I'm white, but I see all these people I care so much about and how broken up they are over this bullshit that I can't understand completely because it's not a problem that I have. Like, I have fear of the police, but not to the same scale. It's not the same. I can never understand. But I see all my friends worried sick over this shit because they have their own body on the line or the body of their children. And our government has absolutely no desire to solve this. And I don't know how to solve it. I can't do it. I can't be everywhere. I'm just some guy. Only thing I wanted my whole life was to live a quote-unquote normal life, to make it into the middle class out of poverty. And I did it. But that's not enough because no one gives a damn their fellow man. And if you do give a damn about your fellow man, you can't get anywhere.
Hey, what's up, Ben? And everyone listening, this is Brian Lewis, and it's like we're running out of options in terms of how to actually respond to this. And it's this on top of the COVID-19 situation, on top of the political situation right now in this country. I have a very dark feeling that the ish is going to hit the fan sooner or later. Like people can only take but so much. And I don't necessarily even like admitting that because I think that's what they want. A part of me feels like these videos circulating, it's like a double-edged sword. Like on the one hand, you want the videos out there because it puts pressure on the people in power, and it makes it harder for them to cover up murders, which they do it anyway, even with videos. But it makes their lies less believable, and it makes their legitimacy less believable when there's an actual video showing people exactly what happened, right? But it's a double-edged sword because we don't need to keep seeing this. It's not actually accomplishing anything. And it just becomes sort of like a carnival of death, right? And it's very stressful. It's, you know, and like I said, I was leading to this a second ago. I think they want this. I think I think that there are people in positions of power. Okay. And I'm not even talking about like the political class. I'm just talking about just law enforcement as well. And the impelled arms of law enforcement. I think there are people who are directly and intentionally trying to antagonize the black community. I think that's actually going on. And I think they're attempting to antagonize us into a potentially, how can I say this? A potentially, painful outcome. Okay. And what I mean by that is, I mean not just protesting. Okay. I'm talking about direct action. I'm talking about taking it up a notch. And we have to understand that the state might want that. Okay. But we're also in a predicament where what are our other options? Protesting is not working.
People are hurting. People are upset, rightfully so, because this legitimately could happen to any one of us. And we do have a reason to be angry and afraid, but more than anything else, to organize and to be prepared to take care of ourselves, because clearly this government is not going to do its job. What good is this government? This is a whole nother conversation. I got a lot more coming after this, a lot more voicemails, a lot more discussions, but let me leave you with this. What good is this government if it does not protect its citizens? If it can't protect us, we owe this government nothing. All right, that's it for the public show, everybody. Patrons, stay tuned. We got 30 more minutes to go, more voicemails. And if you're not a patron, patreon.com/the BPD show to get access. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.patreon.com/the BPD show and support The Benjamin Dixon Show. If you like this episode, be sure to share, like, and subscribe.